This is good news for all care workers in the UK. I feel I should share this because it affects everyone who does not have an indefinite leave to remain. Remember that the UK government proposed that they want to extend ILR for care workers from 5 years to 15 years. And guys, that is like slavery. It's equal, even worse than slavery. You will be tied to your employer. Many care workers go through abusive situations and they just have to stay there because their visa is linked to their stay in the UK. And the employers behave as if they have the power to do anything they feel like doing. So when they have so much power, they abuse these care workers because they know that once they cancel your visa, you are going to be stranded. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to share with you a publication on Unison, that's Southwest Unison. This is one of the steps I have been proposing that care workers should take. And I'm so happy that people are fighting this course. I am so happy. It says, migrant care workers meet Unison General Secretary ahead of national lobby. There's a lobby going to take place soon. It's going to take place on December 17th, this month, guys. And in that particular situation, they are going to be pushing some proposals to the Labour Party leaders. And I hope that this actually comes forward and it makes a huge change. Guys, we already know that the consultation is public. If you have not signed that or filled your answers, please do so. I'll put it in the description and in the comments. I'm going to share with you exactly what they are proposing with regards to this visa, the major visa change they want to introduce so that it will stop people from being abused and stop all these things we've been hearing on social media and with newspapers. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. If you are interested in any of these, please subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you'll be amongst the first people to see that video. If you need support landing a visa sponsorship job, please reach out to me. I optimize your CV, cover letter, and supporting information. I will guide you on using some tips so that you can get that visa sponsorship as soon as possible. Speed is king, guys. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. This was published on November 20th, 2025. It says ministers must rethink their plans to double the way for settled status and fix this unfair system. They're not even saying 15 years. They assume that it is doubling for care workers, but it's 15 years that they are proposing. Migrant care workers from the Southwest met Unison General Secretary Christina McAney on Tuesday to share their experiences of exploitation, abuse, and unsafe visa rules ahead of a major lobby of Parliament next month. 17th of December, that's when the major lobby is going to take place. And they are hoping to mobilize a lot of care workers so that they can speak up and express their situation, that these employers are exploiting them, they are being racially abused, and they're going through a lot of things. Guys, I've read your comments on this video, some of my videos, and I know how passionate you guys are about, doing care, but the hindrance is there. The way employers just do anything they feel like doing is just heartbreaking. And I've always told you guys to register with a union, join a union. Now, the significance of this particular thing is that Unison is one of the largest trade unions in the UK for public services. Many carers actually register and become a member of Unison. They will fight your cause. Now, Unison funds, as in, let's just use the word, they donate some, funds to the Labour government because their beliefs and their values align with the Labour Party. So that's one thing you have to understand. They have been making some donations in the past, so they will listen to them when they complain and say, hey, see, the situation right now is not going to be favorable. Remember that the last debate that they had in September about keeping the 5-year to ILR for skilled worker visa, the Hong Kong members, they had various associations that reached out to these MPs. So that's why they were speaking the same language. They didn't just go individually. But unfortunately for skilled worker visa, we did not have any association. I read the Hansard I didn't see anything like that. But the Hong Kong associations, they reached out to their MPs and they spoke with them. So I feel this type of move is very important, since they are going to have this lobby on the 17th of December 2025. Now, the important aspect of this that I want to draw your attention to, because the two people who actually met with Christina are Adekunle Akinola and Lydia Kambute. I might not be pronouncing it very well. They went to meet her to discuss the growing hostility faced by migrant workers and the failures in the current sponsorship system. Many care staff report verbal and physical attacks, as well as intimidation by employers who hold too much power under the government's visa scheme. Unison has said, okay, they understand the situation and they will bring forward whatever they have told them during the time they're going to lobby. So the Labour Party has to listen to them, because they are lobbying and saying, hey, see the situation, listen to us. We are the ones experiencing this. We cannot come here and work and then spend 15 years to ILR. It does not make sense, because at the end of it, it becomes a challenge. Many people cannot keep up. If your employer decides to cut you off entirely, you know what it means. They give you 60 days to leave the country. It becomes a challenge right now. So there's something that they said that actually stands out. It says, migrant health care worker and Unison activist Adekunle Akinola said, we shared powerful experiences of the harm caused by the current sponsorship system and the urgent need to decouple visas from individual employers. Christina listened with empathy and committed to leading us to Parliament with the full mandate of Unison members. I encourage colleagues to keep mobilizing and to book transport for the lobby on 17th of December. The most important thing you have to understand is that they want to decouple the visas from individual employers. So you can have a care visa, and during that period, you can work for any employer you want. So if an employer cuts you off, it doesn't mean that the Home Office will send you a message that says you should leave the UK in 60 days. So that's what they're proposing. They feel that this option is much better and fairer for care workers, so that they cannot continue to experience abuse. Please share your understanding. What do you think about this system where you are not tied to your employer? You are on a care worker visa. You can work for any employer you want. And if the working condition is not good, you can report that you are being abused. Many care workers cannot report that they are being abused, because if they report, it can lead to a sack. And once they sack you, they cut off your visa. That is it. It becomes a challenge for you to find another employer in less than 60 days. So people are taking advantage of that situation and abusing foreigners. There are many people who are Brits that would want to do the job, but according to what I've read in my comments, I've been listening. Someone, Ines, said something like that they would want to do the job, but because of the abusive employers, the way they do anyhow, that is the reason why some people don't want to do it. So they walk away from that situation because they have the opportunity to walk away. But you that came into the UK and you know that your visa, your stay in the UK is linked to your visa and is linked to that job, you cannot easily walk away. So you will stay there receiving racial abuse and all sorts of things. So this is what they are proposing, and they are pushing for this to happen. Hopefully the Labour Party will listen to them and understand the conditions that actually moved them to make this proposal. Hopefully they are willing to listen to them, because I don't see someone spending 15 years or 10 years. Like I said, I feel they will end up making it 10 years instead of 15 years for care workers. I know they are proposing 15 years for any job under RQF level 6, but it doesn't make sense for them to propose that, because if they decide to say, okay, everybody will under RQF level 6 will now be 10 years, except care workers, it will be unfair and discriminatory. So I feel they will include care workers. Everybody is going to be 10 years. This is just an assumption. This is what I feel. You know me, what I do here is I predict some things. Sometimes what I predict does not come into play, but sometimes it gets implemented. I'm just observing the way things are. You listen to the rumors, grapevine in the corridors of power, you listen to their tone and everything. You now say, okay, it's likely to be this way, or it's not likely to be that way. What do you think? Do you think they should decouple the visa from employers so that you can work for any employer you want? If the conditions are not good, you can easily report your employer and move on to the next employer, so the home office doesn't send you 60 days to leave the country, something like that. What do you think based on this? If you are someone who wants to work extra 20 hours in addition to the one you are being sponsored for, I've told you guys the requirements. I'll link a video here so that you can see the conditions at which you can do that extra 20 hours. You can work for as long as you want over time with your current employer. But when you want to work for another employer for 20 hours, there are limitations there, and they are clearly spelt on the government website. This thing changes all the time. So just check out my latest video. That's the most current information. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.